Hey there, guys. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. I'm picking this game up in the fourth, and on the side of the Reds at San Francisco at Giants, June 6, 1990. It's part of my replay. We've got Don Robinson against Danny Jackson, the left-hander, Don Robinson, the right-hander, and we got 4 innings of a perfect game going, which obviously, since I am recording now, it will not last, but that's fine. Let's have some fun and see how long it doesn't last for. It's the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's Kevin Mitchell, Matt Williams, and Gary Carter. This is 1990 San Francisco Giants, and let's do it. So far, it's 1-0 Giants leading off. Danny Jackson on the mound for the Reds. Here's the pitch, and that is a 25, which will be an out. The D20 is a 1, so that's bounced right back to the pitcher, and he throws out Mitchell. Matt Williams is up. Matt Williams struck out. Danny Jackson has 6 strikeouts so far, so he's been striking out a ton of players so far in 3 1/3 innings. He got 6 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. It's a 45, and that'll be a bouncer to the second baseman. Ron Oster picks it up and throws over to Griffey, who's playing first today. And next is Gary Carter. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the fourth, Gary Carter, the pitch, and that's a 14. That will be bounced again to the second baseman, Oster, and he throws out Carter. 3 up and 3 down. So here we go to the top of the fifth inning. We got a perfect game going for Don Robinson, and the more you say it, the more chance there is that it will soon be over. Paul O'Neill, the lefty, is up. He grounded to the shortstop. Here's the pitch, and that's a 35, and that will be a bouncer to the shortstop. And shortstop Jose Uribe throws out O'Neill for the first out here in the fifth. Next is Ken Griffey. He's a lefty. Here's a pitch, and that's Snake Eyes, and that'll be bounced to the first baseman, who will flip to the pitcher covering. 2 away. And next is Herb Washington. Herb Washington flat out to left, and the pitch, a 43, and another ground ball to the shortstop up the middle, and right there is Uribe. Plants his feet and throws a strike to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down. And we have the bottom of the order coming up next in the sixth inning for the Reds. We have the bottom of the order coming up now. Robbie Thompson. Danny Jackson has been struggling this season, so he's having a good day, and that's good to see. It's a 63, and that'll be a 1-2 strikeout, but we roll an 18, and that's cracked to center field. Center fielder today is Winningham, and he's there. Jose Uribe, who singled. Danny Jackson's given him 3 singles and a run in the second inning. Here's Uribe. Here's the pitch, and that's a 22. That's line ball 4. But he's going to get a chance to steal here. There's a plus sign there. Let's roll the D20 and a 10. His steal rating is a 7, and the throw down, the pitcher bats is a righty, so it'll be the second baseman covering. 2-4. They got him. Great throw from Jeff Reed. Let me double check Jeff Reed's arm. Oh, but even with that W, it's a -2. It's a +2 actually for the base stealer. Would make it a 9, but we rolled a 10. So even with that, he gets thrown out. If you don't think that's enough, you can always add a 1 point or 2 to the catcher throwing arm. A strong arm catcher would have a -4 to the base stealer, and a weak arm catcher could have a +4 if you feel that's not enough for arm ratings. Some guys are really into the catcher arm ratings. It's not going to make a big difference in the game. It may make a difference between 1 caught stealing and 1 stolen base. And here's the pitcher with 2 outs. Danny Jackson winds and deals, and it's a 56. Struck him out, and that is strikeout number 7 for Jackson, who's having a really excellent day here. So this is what you call a pitcher's duel, a pitching duel. And Ronnie Oster, Jeff Reed, and Danny Jackson in the top of the sixth inning. It's the bottom of the order for the Reds. Don Robinson has a perfect game going here. So that's a 42, and that will be an out. Yes, it will. It's bounced to, he's batting lefty. It will be bounced to the first baseman. Flips again to the pitcher covering. That's the 1, 2, third time that happened. Jeff Reed. Now, how do you know that? You know it by the white die. If it's a 1 or a 2 and it goes to the first baseman, the out is the green die, the D20 tells you the out. It's to first base because he's a lefty. But will the first baseman take it? Well, it depends on the white die. A 1 and 2, he flips to the pitcher. All the other numbers, like a 3, 4, 5, and 6, will go to the first baseman handles it himself. That's realistic in terms of how many flips to the pitcher the first basemen usually have. And usually about 30% of the outs to first base are the first baseman flipping to the pitcher covering. Jeff Reed. Jeff Reed's having a great season. He's a part-time player, but he's batting around 350. Let's see what happens here against Don Robinson. And that's a 13. That will be a fly ball to right. Over is Rick Parker, and he makes the catch. And Rick Parker is the right fielder. Brett Butler's in center field, and Kevin Mitchell is the left fielder. And here's Danny Jackson, the pitcher. Now, this is a tough one. The only, I don't think he can even, a 66 is the only way he can get a hit, or a 46. Those are the only two ways he can get a hit. Here's a pitch, and that is a 23. Struck him out. So the perfect game continues, going into the 7th inning, and Don Robinson will get an extra boost. An A pitcher who goes 6 innings complete, shutout innings, will get a boost, and his 31 instead of a single will become an out and a ground ball double play. So that is a big difference, and that is a homebrew rule that I think is needed, because the A pitcher who goes 7 complete doesn't get any benefits, whereas all the other pitchers do at different times. So that's the way I like to do it. I like to give the A pitcher another extra benefit because he's pitched 7 complete and he's just dominant that day. Now you could say, you could make an argument that, hey, once he gets into the deeper innings, well, fatigue starts setting in, so he shouldn't be continually given any more advantages. Well, that's the only advantage he's going to get from this point on, because he's already an A. He will get that 31 that will benefit him rather than the batter. And in the top of the 7th for the Reds, we will see the top of the order, Sabo, Hatcher, and Larkin. And they're all together. They're 0 for 6. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to be the top of the order for the Giants, Brett Butler, Parker, and Will Clark. Here's the pitch from Danny Jackson. And that's a 23, and that will be a ground ball to first base. This time, Griffey handles it and takes it himself, steps on the bag ahead of Brett Butler. Here's Rick Parker. Rick Parker batted .243 with 2 home runs. Had 107 at-bats. That's the nice thing I like about this game, is that it gives you all the players. And I really enjoy seeing these no-name guys play for a couple of games and, get a clutch single or clutch homer or a clutch double or drive in a key run or steal a base or make a nice range play or something like that. I just like that about baseball. That guy that sits on the bench all the time, he gets an opportunity to play, and suddenly he's gonna really stand out. So that's why I like games that offer you easy access to all the cards. And there's a few games that do that. And here is Rick Parker with a 34, and that will be bounced up the middle, and that's a base hit. So base hit for Parker and Will Clark. We're going to get the bullpen going here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see, 27 for Danny Jackson. They still have plenty of batters face left. Here's Will Clark. Will Clark batted .295 with 19 home runs in 600 bats. That's going to be a 43, and that'll be an out of 7 as a fly ball left field near the line. Running is Hatcher, and Hatcher gets there for the 2nd out of the inning. Nice play by Hatcher. Nice running catch in left field. Here's Kevin Mitchell now. Kevin Mitchell was a powerhouse in 1990 with a .290 average, 93 RBIs, 35 home runs, 24 doubles. He was a beast in 140 games, 35 home runs. So he could have easily, that's about 7 home runs for every 100 at-bats. So with another 100 at-bats, he could have easily hit 42 home runs that season. Kevin Mitchell, powerhouse card. And I know the Mets wish they had him back, right? And All right, here we are, bottom of the sixth, 2 outs, 1 on, and Danny Jackson, the pitch to Kevin Mitchell, and that's a 64, which will be a ground ball to the shortstop. He'll flip to the second baseman, Oster covering, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we go to the top of the seventh. Don Robinson faces Chris Sabo. See what happens. You know, these type of games require lots and lots and lots of luck. I've got this one right here that when I replayed in 1980, using Fall Classic Baseball, I replayed the 1980 A's. It was a perfect game by Mike Norris. Look at this, gorgeous. Browns are ground ball outs. Ground ball 6. This is a red, so that's a strikeout, strikeout. So 4 ground balls, strikeout, strikeout. Ground ball, fly out, 3 in a row. 2 more strikeouts. Then you got 3 flyouts. Ground out, 2 flyouts. 7th inning, fly out, ground ball, fly out. And you got 2 ground balls, fly out. And then you got a strikeout, fly ball, and ground out to end the game. A perfect game by Mike Norris. Wow. That's after I think I probably played about 700 games, but I keep that. That's pretty amazing to be part of that. And we got another one going here. We're in the 7th inning, but I don't know how much longer this is going to last. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to take a sip of my juice. Chris Sabo. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be a 53 with a 20. That's going to be a range play to the third baseman. He dives, and that's slows down the ball, gets back up, and he's going to make a throw, and that's going to be not in time for a range base hit single. Yikes. Chris Sabo. Now, when I had my perfect game by Mike Norris, all those opportunities that came up, they were always the D20. Instead of being a 20-sided, a 20 this time, it was always like a low number. So they would just make the catches, or it was hit to the guy with the highest range number where he would make an amazing running catch to save the day. In this case, there was absolutely no chance for the third baseman with a 20, Matt Williams. Matt Williams is an 11 range, so the 20 is way above that. And then there was a chance for an error. So he knocked down the ball, got to it, threw wildly to first base, but the first baseman, Will Clark, came off the bag and blocked the ball to prevent the error. So Chris Sabo is on with the first hit of the game, and that was really exciting. Billy Hatcher's up next, and we're going to try a hit and run. Hatcher's a hit and run guy. There he goes, and that's a snake eyes. That's a base hit right through the hole. And going to third now, the tying run is at third base, first and third. So things have changed, and they're going the Reds' way right now. First and third, nobody out. Barry Larkin, Don Robinson, still an A. Let's do it. Infield will be in here in the top of the 7th for the Giants. In on the grass. Here's the pitch, and that's a 65. That's a pitcher home run, -5. It's 1-14 on the pitcher, so the -5 says 1-9, and that's an 8. So that's a deep drive to left field. That ball is out of here. 3-run home run for Barry Larkin. And the Reds have taken a 3-1 lead. Ouch. From a perfect game to a 3-1 score now. The Reds are up, and Don Robinson has been he's in somewhat of shock. I wouldn't be surprised if he walks a guy right here. Usually what happens, a 25, and that'll be a hard hit fly ball to right field, but positioned perfectly. Positioned perfectly is the right fielder, Parker. Let me clean that up a little bit. So that's the first out of the inning. L9. Next is Ken Griffey. And that's a 64, which will be a fly ball again to right. 2 outs. And let's see if we can slide this over a little bit, because I'm not using this. I don't know why I have it that way. There we go. So let's slide it over a little bit. Got some other games underneath that I'm playing. Here are the pitcher cards. Pitchers are next to the batter card. It's batter first, and you can see my tutorials on how to play Fall Classic Baseball. Again, let's slide it over a little bit more. There we go. All right. And it's going to be Herb Winningham, who's 0 for 2 today. 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Don Robinson, and a 61 will be a strikeout. So 3 runs on 3 hits, the big hit being the Barry Larkin home run. And we now go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Danny Jackson against Matt Williams. Here's a pitch. 56 and struck him out. Chases a high fastball. Could not hold back. Checked his swing, but he went around. And Gary Carter with a 65, and that is a pitcher home run, 1-12, and that ball is way back left field, and looking up is Hatcher. That ball's gone. So it's 3-2 now. Gary Carter, who hit 9 home runs in half the season, so he would have had about 20 home runs, 22 home runs if he would have played a full 600 at-bats. Came over from the Mets, I believe. And I know at some point he ends up with Los Angeles. I don't know if he went to Los Angeles and then he came to the Giants, or he came to the Giants and then went to Los Angeles. I'm not totally sure. It may have been he went to LA and then to the Giants. But this is the end of Gary Carter, the kid's career. All right. So we definitely, our bullpen is up. Robbie Thompson, here's a pitch, and that's a 23, which will be a strikeout. Curveball gets Thompson. That's strikeout number 9 for Jackson. And here's Jose Uribe. Pitch, it's a 63, and that will be a bouncer to second base, played by Oster. 1 run on 1 hit. 3-2 the score now here in the going into the 8th inning. Ronnie Oster leads off against Don Robinson, still in the game. And here's a pitch, and that is a 43, which will be an out. Would be a fly ball left field. Backing up a couple of steps is Mitchell, and Mitchell makes the catch. Here's Jeff Reed now. Pitch to Jeff Reed. That's a 34. That's bounced up the middle and through for a base hit. The 4th base hit allowed by Robinson. Danny Jackson's going to square away. He's going to bunt, and that's a good bunt. It's to Barry back to the mound. The pitcher handles it, and it's 1-2-4. Okay, so it's a good bunt by Danny Jackson. Runner in a scoring position. Don Robinson facing his 28th batter. So he can go 29. So I believe he's the same Don Robinson that is on the that was on the Reds at the beginning of the season. Let me double check that. I believe it's the same guy that was traded. I have a Don Robinson here as well. Oh no, it's a Ron Robinson. Okay, it's not the same guy. I have a Ron Robinson who starts about 5 games for the Reds, and I thought it was the same guy who got traded, but no, this is Don Robinson. Totally different. Okay, Don Robinson's way better, by the way, than Ron Robinson on the Reds. All right. Here's Chris Sabo, who's 1 for 3 against Don Robinson. Here's a pitch, and that's a 45, which will be a fly ball to right. Over is Parker, makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. We're going to get a pinch hitter here. Okay, it's Greg Litton leading off against Danny Jackson. Pitch, it's a 52 and an 8. That's an error check. I pull a card, and it says to the 3rd baseman, Sabo is... I think say it was like a 4, so he'll make that play. Throws a strike to the 1st baseman Griffey for the 1st out. And I can just look real quick. 3rd base error rating, he's a 4, so I do have him memorized. Brett Butler, left-handed hitter, next against Danny Jackson. Here's the pitch, and 61. That will be a strikeout. So he checks his swing to check with the 3rd base umpire, and he rings him up, and Brett Butler doesn't like it. has something to say. The third base coach is going to get in between them, and he's going to send Brett Butler back to the dugout. Wants to protect his player. Doesn't want Brett Butler to get thrown out. And here's Rick Parker with 2 outs. And Danny Jackson has basically completed his batters faced. As long as he doesn't give up another base runner, he can stick in the game. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 32, which will be an out. That'll be a fly ball center field. To his right is Irv Winningham, and Winningham makes the catch. 3 up and 3 down, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Danny Jackson will be an A pitcher and going for a complete game, although he had no complete games in reality. We'll give him one. We'll give him a chance to get one complete game. We'll see what happens. It may not happen because if he gives up one more base runner. Oh, actually, no, he gave up a home. He won't be an A. He'll stay as a B. I forgot that he gave up that run in the 7th inning. So he'll still continue to be a B. And let's go to the top of the 9th. Don Robinson is out. We're going to get a new pitcher coming in, and that's going to be Brantley. Brantley had a lot of appearances for Jeff Brantley comes in. He had a lot of appearances for the Giants, and he's going to have his B stuff. I like to have these little Post-its because it allows me to just focus on the right column. I really like that about this game. You have like 3, basically it's giving you 3 pitcher cards, right? You could use just one column, the B column, the whole season. But it's fun to have, pitchers with their best stuff some days and with their worst stuff some other days. They still can pitch well with their C stuff or pitch poorly with their A stuff, which is kind of cool because you never know what's going to happen. And here's Billy Hatcher against Jeff Brantley in the 9th inning. The Reds lead at 3-2. Here's a pitch, and 65 minus 6. That's going to be no home run. That will be a fly ball to left. It becomes a negative number, and a negative number is an automatic out. Barry Larkin is up next. Larkin is 1 for 3 with a 3-run home run, so that was a big hit. Larkin with a 32, and that'll be bounced to second. Up with it is Thompson, 2 away. And here is O'Neill, who's 0 for 3. And the 24 will be a potential hit by pitch number, but it will not be. It's a fly ball right field. 3 up and 3 down. We go to last licks. Randy Myers is warming up in the bullpen. So he is ready to come in. So if anybody gets on base, we're going to see Randy Myers here. I believe he leads the league in saves. He can't come in today. He's used up. So we got Carlton Dibble. So he's fatigued. I've overused Randy Myers a little bit, so he's fatigued. We'll see what happens. Let's see if we need him. We may not need him. Maybe Danny Jackson can finish off this game and could make his one complete game. Here's a pitch, and that's a 24. That's a hit by pitch number with a 9. It will be a fly ball to right, too high to be a hit by pitch, so it becomes an out. Kevin Mitchell is next. So the first out, the Giants are down to the last 2 outs. It's 3-2 Reds. Danny Jackson, masterful today. He's only allowed 4 hits, I believe. 5 hits. The pitch, and it's a 61. Struck him out. Kevin Mitchell down swinging for the fences. Hit 35 home runs. And finally, it's Matt Williams. Matt Williams steps in the box. He is a right-handed hitter. He's got good power. Hit 33 home runs and 600 at-bats. So a pretty good season with a 270, 280 average. 122 RBIs. So he's a big bat in the middle. Probably the most dangerous batter here for the Giants. And he's up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The Giants trail by 1 run. And with 1 swing of the bat, Matt Williams can be the guy to tie this ball game up. So Danny Jackson will proceed with caution. Now, Danny Jackson has a 1-12 home run. And if I brought in a guy like, let's see, if I brought in a guy like Norm Carlton, he's 1-8. How about Rob Dibble, 1-2? So we're going to bring in Rob Dibble. We're just not going to risk losing this game. We're going to bring up Dibble in case we roll that 65. Man, I'd like Danny Jackson to get a complete game, but to be honest with you, he had no complete games in reality. So he's going to get pulled for Dibble, who comes in for the opportunity for the save. So he'll go 8.2, and Danny Jackson reluctantly hands the ball over to the manager, Tony Porter, and not totally happy, but he understands that Tony Porter knows what he's doing. And Rob Dibble comes in from the bullpen. Now, if I roll a 66 or I roll a 55, I'm still doomed. But if I roll a 65, that may make all the difference on that home run. So here goes. Here's the pitch. And Dibble has, I didn't roll for Dibble to see what kind of card he has. I didn't do that either. Oh, he's going to have his C stuff. So that's going to be a 1-5 home run. Still good. And here's the pitch. Dibble to Williams here in the bottom of the ninth. 3-2 Reds. 2 out. Nobody on. Matt Williams. And that's a 41. That's going to be a ball 4. So Dibble walks Matt Williams. Here's Gary Carter, who already has a home run. And Rob Dibble checks in with a read for the sign, sets, and deals. And that's going to be a 61. Strike 3, ball game over. And that was 10, 11 strikeouts for Danny Jackson. 1 strikeout for Dibble. Ball game's over. No runs, no hits, 1 left. The walk. And Rob Dibble comes in, picks up the save. The final score is 3-2 Reds. The Reds had 4 hits. The Giants had, I think I said 5 hits. Errors. No errors. The first hit of the game was a range play to the third baseman, top of the 7th. That was the first hit for the Reds. So a great game, exciting game. Perfect game alert. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. And you can try Fall Classic Baseball for free. There's no commitment. It's very easy to play. I have a 6-minute how to play, 6 or 9 minute how to play Fall Classic Baseball on my channel. Check it out. It's very, very easy. Once you understand how to read the cards, that's all you need. In this game, I did not use any charts. I have memorized the D20 because it's a quick out chart that you use. I posted it up on my wall, and but I have it memorized already. It's very simple. It's based on like 1 to 20, and it aligns with the outfield positions. Like if I roll a 7, it's a fly out to left. If I roll a 17, it's a fly out to left. If I roll an 8, it's a fly out to center. If I roll an 18, it's a fly out to center. If I roll a 9, it's a fly out to right. If I roll a 19, it's a fly out to right. So, hey, anybody can memorize that pretty quick. There's like 4 numbers that aren't that you'll have to memorize, but that's very, very easy. Trust me, if I could do it, you can do it. And that's about it, guys. So I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the game. Take care.